Greetings, affectionate, funny, warm Leo. My name is Eliane Nicole. I'm an astrologer and tarot reader, and now I'm going to do the 2020 July forecast for Leo. I'm going to read some tarot cards, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about planetary movements for July. So definitely stick around for the second half of the video, because what's going on in the planets is very interesting right now. And I recommend that you watch the videos for your sun, moon, and rising. If you don't know your sun, moon, and rising, you should definitely contact me for a reading. I'm reading on Zoom during quarantine. Having an understanding of your birth chart and getting regular readings with an astrologer can be a really empowering tool in life. I can't really recommend it enough for people. We're so far removed from that in this modern era, but the ancients definitely understood the power of that. And as we enter the month of July, Leo, it looks like you are coming out of a situation of bondage. And you are covered by the Seven of Pentacles reversed, which means there can be some anxiety or misgivings. That's an interesting combination, because it's like, here you are, you're coming out of this situation that's been keeping you bound, and yet you have anxieties or misgivings about that somehow. And what is happening Cocoon-wise, you're crossed with the Knight of Cups reverse. The Knight of Cups, it's not reversed. This is actually the only card in the layout that is horizontal, so it's not upright or reversed. And as that, it's an important card, because it's what the Kabbalists call your tikkun, which is your karmic correction during this cycle. And this is around romance for many. And if it's not romance, then it's going to be creativity. It could be around, your tikkun is around a creative or romantic proposal of some kind. And others, the basis of the situation, the Ace of Rods reversed. So it looks like there is a delay or postponement in beginning something, in making an offer of some kind. Perhaps someone is reneging on an offer. What's leaving is the Two of Wands reversed. So this could be a partnership that wasn't seeing eye to eye, or a partnership that was separating. What could come into being is the Page of Pentacles reversed. For Leos with children, this could be that your child is having an issue around school or work, or money. For Leos who don't have children, this could be a missed opportunity around mid-month. What will come into being, Leo, also around mid-month is, it looks like you are taking a risk or a gamble on something. Fears or insecurities, the Ace of Swords reversed, defeat. Others see you as having relationship issues. So it could be that your lover is feeling out of alignment with you, your significant other, or it could be someone, an outside party, who is kind of looking at your relationship or seeing that you're having issues. Your positive feelings are the Six of Pentacles. This is a contract or negotiation that's happening at the end of the month. It looks favorable for you. And then the outcome is the Ten of Pentacles. It looks like by the end of the month, the full picture is happening for Leo. Family, security, wealth, abundance, all of that. And so all's well that ends well in July, right, Leo? And so now I'm going to talk a little bit about the planets. July 1st, Saturn is going retrograde in Capricorn. And this is happening in your 6th house, Leo. So wherever Saturn is moving, that is where we have to face reality in life, and oftentimes there is work for us to be done there. For you in July, this is going to be the 6th house, and the 6th house is actually the house of work. It's the house of our day-to-day routine. It's also the house of service to others. It can also be the house of physical health. And so it's important to say here, particularly for Leo, because this is a sixth house prominent month for Leos. The sixth house can represent health issues. It does not always. For some people, it will. As astrologers, there's a scale, right? And we can tell you all the meanings on the scale, and then it's up to, you know, the individual to know where on the scale it is. If I'm working with someone one-on-one in a reading, we obviously come to that together. But here I'm presenting the scale, you know. And so one of the things that the sixth house refers to is actual like physical health things. Another thing it refers to is service to others. It also refers to employees and staff. So if you're a Leo who has employees, who has staff, there could be a big focus of issues around that in July for you. If you are, it can also be the house of small pets as well. So the ancients had a few different meanings for this sixth house. And so how it's manifesting for you, Leo, depends on your chart and the other things that are happening in your chart. So again, I encourage you to contact me for a reading. But Jupiter and Pluto formed a conjunction at the end of June in that sixth house, which is creating a lot of transformation and expansion in that area. And then Saturn backs on up into Capricorn after being in Aquarius for 3 months, giving us a hint to where we're going in our work life in 2021 and 22. But now we're backing back up into where it's been for the past 2.5 years. And it's almost like Saturn is like the building inspector coming back to make sure that we've learned all the lessons and created all the structures and boundaries that it wanted us to before we move on to this Aquarian phase, which is going to be a lot different in the way that we work. And yeah, so I guess that's all I'll say about that now, and then I'm going to move on. July 4th is the full moon lunar eclipse in Capricorn. Again, this is happening in that sixth house for you, Leo, the sixth house, the house of physical health, the house of service, the house of our day-to-day routine, the house of our employees and staff. Which is it for you? But yes, there's a culmination that happens with lunar eclipses. Sometimes lunar eclipses bring up the shadow in ourselves or others, and it can be shocking. But it's all for our growth and our transformation and to go to another place in our lives, to ascend a higher plane. And July 6th, Ceres goes retrograde in the sign of Pisces. That is happening in the house of sex, death, rebirth, regeneration, elimination, transformation. A very, very deep house. And so this is going to bring up questions of how you nurture that aspect of yourself, that depth in yourself, Leo. I know that Leo is a fire sign and really likes, you know, to be action oriented and in the outside world and on the go. But this time is asking, you know, you to nurture yourself on a deeper, more internal, more spiritual level. And let's see, Mercury goes direct July 12th. So the whole first 2 weeks of July, Mercury is still going to be retrograde in Cancer. Mercury has been retrograde in Cancer since June 17th. So Mercury retrograde in Cancer is showing up for Leo in the 12th house. Again, the 12th house is a really deep and dark house. So Leo has 8th house stuff, 6th house stuff, and 12th house stuff going on. And so these are very deep zones for Leo, you know, because Leo's fire. Leo likes to be in action, making it happen, on, you know, extrovert, out there doing it. And these are very internal and deep houses that are asking Leo to go deep internally, you know. And so Mercury retrograde might have brought up some emotional communication that is triggering that spot in you, and it could feel lonely or like you need to have some time to yourself to kind of explore these emotional depths. These are complicated things to talk about in the context of a broad strokes kind of cliff notes reading, which is why I'm continuously encouraging people, contact me. We can read on Zoom. It's so empowering. It's so enlightening. It's such a great thing to do. July 16th, Saturn is forming a quincunx with the North Node. Again, this is something about, this is bringing up questions for work and the structures in your life versus your higher purpose. And these are important questions to come up now. And you don't have to necessarily answer them right away, but you can look to where things are going, you know, here. It can give you hints of the change that's on the horizon for the way that you work in 2021 and 2022, or around your work and around your higher purpose. July 20th is the new moon in Cancer. That new moon in Cancer, again, this is in your 12th house, Leo. This is the house, the 12th house is the house of hidden karma. It's the house of confinement. It can be hospitals or institutions like jails, hospitals. It can be monasteries. It can be solitude, hidden karma, mysteries, the unseen. So the new moon, the black moon in Cancer is happening in your 12th house. So it's very deep. This is a spiritually transformative time for Leo. And I think at this time, it's important for you to commit to a spiritual practice, and that is different for everyone. A spiritual practice can be communing with nature. It doesn't have to be religious. It doesn't have to be, you know, even if you're an atheist, it's the connection to something that is bigger than you, that is beyond you, and a daily devotion to that thing to help you stay centered through all that's going on in the world. And what else? Then July 22nd, the sun enters Leo, and hooray, Leo. There's going to be more light once Leo season comes. It's your birthday season. It's time to celebrate you. It's time to celebrate another, whip around the sun. And then it's going to be, the sun will be in your first house of identity and self-expression, and you get to just kind of step into your full Leo-ness during that period. And that's going to be, I think, feel a lot better for you after kind of some of the murkier, darker, deeper exploration that has to happen during the, earlier first 3 weeks of July. And then finally, July 27th, there's this really beautiful Jupiter sextile Neptune alignment that I'm just loving. It's very transcendent. It's very creative, I think. And it's in Capricorn and Pisces. So that is touching on, again, your 6th house and your 8th house. So I think that there can be inspiration for you here. Around this deeply transformational time that's happening for you, around maybe reinventing or regenerating in some way around work or your day-to-day routine or your health or your employees. It's 6th house, 8th house stuff that's going to be stimulated by that. And that's the end of my transits for Leo for the month of July. Thank you for joining me, Leo. If you like this video, give me a like. If you didn't like it, give me a don't like. I'm just laughing because there's so much more that I want to say, but I'm trying to keep the video short. And it's so hard for me when I'm doing these broad strokes to kind of decide what to keep and what to leave out. And I'm like, oh, there's so much I'm not saying. So please contact me to have your chart done. And please subscribe to the channel, and please share this with other Leos that you know, and follow me on Instagram at astrology.tarot.Eliane Nicole, because throughout July I will be doing written updates about some of these bigger moments that are happening and what it means to us collectively. So thank you for joining me, and have a wonderful July, Leo.